Welcome to the Heavy Spoilers Show. I'm your host, Definition, aka the guy that always wants to get nuts. KP Nuts, available at all good grocery stores. Now, speaking of getting nuts, DC have been knocking it out of the park recently with their announcements. In the last week, they've dropped a ton of new updates, and it really is an incredible time to be a comic book fan because of them. Thank you, DC. Hail Snyder. Now, there's a ton of information to talk about, and throughout this video we're going to be breaking down all of the latest updates from the company, including the Michael Keaton casting news, what it means for The Flash, the upcoming Suicide Squad game rumours, Snyder Cut trailer and announcement, Catwoman Catsuit, and everything else that's been dropped in the last week. There's going to be full spoilers here in regards to potential plots, reveals, and more, so if you don't want anything ruined, then I highly recommend that you turn off now. Please drop a thumbs up if you're a die-hard DC fan, and make sure you subscribe to the channel for videos like this every day. With that out of the way, thank you for clicking this. Now let's get into the stories. Okay, so firstly, I think we should start off with a thing that pretty much broke the internet last week. That is the Snyder Cut trailer. This little teaser contained a full scene from the film in which Diana went on a discovery for who Darkseid really was. Now, from what we know about the Snyder Cut, this scene takes place at the end of the movie and acts as a sort of epilogue to the events of the film. In the climax of the finale, Diana actually beheads Steppenwolf as he beheads into the boom tube, and through it, the heroes of Earth can see Darkseid on the other end. He stops Steppenwolf's head with his boot and shows that he's really not messing a boot. That's if you're Canadian. For everyone else, it's about, and I'll stop doing the jokes now. Now, Diana believes that she knows who the character is, as in a story on the Old War, she describes how the charge was led by Darkseid and not Steppenwolf, and this glance at the character makes her go and look for him. This is where she discovers an ancient mural with the villain on, and this scene actually has a lot of things to unpack from it. In the mural, we can see a spear on the left-hand side, and it also seems like Darkseid is holding this in the crappy 480p shot of him at the end of the trailer. This may be the Spear of Destiny, which is a DC Comics MacGuffin that's been used in several storylines. It definitely seems like the kind of thing that Darkseid would have, and yeah, I really hope that it is. In the centre is what looks like a crystal, and though I have seen some say that this is the Kaos Crystal from the comics, I actually disagree with that, and I think that it simply might just be three mother boxes coming together to form the unity. It does look like three cubes existing in the same place at the same time to me, so that's what I personally think it is. Behind Diana, we can also see three cubes in the wall, which are the mother boxes, and thus I think this is a safe assumption to make. Jesse Eisenberg narrates the trailer with his speech from the ending of Batman v Superman, and in it he says the bell's been rung, which means that Darkseid's forces are coming for Earth. Darkseid is likely on his way, and then we get the shot of him from the prologue of the Snyder Cut attacking Earth. So yeah, even though it's a very short trailer, there's still a lot to unpack from it, and this already feels like it's better than the Whedon cut. And you know what, it was probably the best 30 seconds of 2020. In addition to this, we also learned a couple more aspects of the Snyderverse, including who was going to take up the mantle of Robin. Now, we have known for some time that it was indeed Dick Grayson that was shown as the one that Joker murdered in BVS. In the intro of the movie, one of the graves actually belongs to Dick, and thus we can close the book on him appearing in the DCEU, unless they Lazarus pit him or something again, but that's more Jason Todd, and anyway, look, I'm getting sidetracked. When asked which Robin the DCEU was going to centre around, Snyder actually came out on his Vero and said that Carrie Kelly was going to be the focus going forward. Now, whilst she was not supposed to be a character in the Snyder Cut, it is possible with the additional scenes and reshoots that they might start to slowly sow the seeds of her appearance into the movie, and who knows, with the cut being released on HBO Max, we might start to head towards the originally intended vision for the universe. Speaking of originals, it looks like we might also be getting a return of Michael Keaton as the Dark Knight. Yesterday, the story broke that the actor had been in talks to reprise his role in the upcoming Flash movie. Now, I did say that I believed that this was going to be Thomas Wayne, as the Flash film has always been labelled as a Flashpoint movie. However, more rumours have emerged since last night on exactly what his role entails. According to the new leaks, Flash will time travel to the day his mother died and save her from her fate. However, this will have a butterfly effect that will cause several things to shift, including when Bruce was born and therefore when Batman was created. In the comics, upon returning to the present, Flash found Thomas Wayne. However, apparently DC are taking things in another direction. Upon getting back to the future, Flash will find a much older Batman, namely Keaton, who will be replacing Affleck. Keaton will reportedly appear across multiple movies, similar to Nick Fury, and he will act more as a mentor figure than going out and punching people in the face, but I want to still see him punch people in the face. Anyway, Batman and Batman Returns will become canon, and Bruce will also be mentoring Batgirl. The Pattinson version will be a standalone universe, but I'm actually hoping that they do something special with it. Now, this is just me praying for the best case scenario, but I really hope that the Returns rumours being canon are false, and instead Pattinson is just a younger version of the character that existed in the 90s, and therefore was also knocking about roughly at the same time that Phoenix's Joker was. I doubt that that will happen, but yeah, I would love it, and the whole timeline being changed definitely makes it a possibility. Now, upon learning this, we also heard that Jeffrey Dean Morgan would now no longer be playing Thomas Wayne. Instead, Bruce is going to be taking centre stage, but I must stress though that none of this is confirmed, and though I have seen people jumping on the Keaton will be Bruce bandwagon, absolutely nowhere has this been said for definite, and he could even end up being Thomas as we suggested. Now, again, no one knows for definite at this moment, including me, and no matter how many people say he's confirmed as coming back, the reports just state that he's in talks. In talks normally means that they have ideas, but I'm sure if Keaton wanted to try something different, the studio would be down for it. Now, what this does is that it introduces the multiverse of the DCEU, a land in which all versions of Batman can exist across multiple realities. So, theoretically, there's a world where you, yes you are actually Batman. So yeah, sorry about your parents, but congratulations. Now, I am very hyped over this, and if it turns out to be true, it's going to be a game changer for DC, who could end up entering the 20s with a lineup that could easily best Marvel. I do think that this was initially going to be a big announcement at DC Fandom, but then the news leaked and the internet just ran with it. Obviously, we're hyped over here, and I can't wait to see how this story develops. Now, though yesterday was filled with some great news, some sad news also came with the passing of Joel Schumacher. Schumacher directed both Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, and though they're often said to be bad movies, I actually do find a lot of fun in them. I mean, who doesn't love those ice puns? I know I, for one, definitely can just sit through Batman and Robin and have a great time. Schumacher will probably be remembered for those films the most, but he also made some absolute critical classics such as The Lost Boys and Falling Down, both of which are brilliant. Schumacher sadly passed away at 80, but he leaves behind a long and rich legacy that will definitely be remembered. Rest in peace. Now, with all of this news about Keaton and the Flash, Pattinson's film has been overshadowed slightly. However, you definitely shouldn't overlook it, and we have a new interview with Zoe Kravitz that teases how her catsuit will be. When discussing it, she said, "It's funny, I really didn't think about how difficult it is to make something like a catsuit original. Like, how do you reinvent the jean jacket, you know? But Jacqueline Duran, our everything costume designer, is just a genius. It was cool to be part of the process, because sometimes with films this big, it can be very much put this on, stand over there, say this. And Matt Reeves is very much about the process. The whole thing, designing the suit, began with conversations between me, Matt and Jacqueline. We kind of birthed this thing together, and there are references to the year of comics we're dealing with. It's cool. If this COVID pandemic lockdown hadn't happened, it would have already come out by now. I love it." So it's kind of bittersweet, and though we do have more of an idea of what it looks like, it sucks that we could have seen it by now if it had not been for the pandemic. As we've said in our other Batman videos, it's clear that Reeves has taken the idea of how the movie is going to look across the board and applied it to every facet of the design. Thus, the DIY nature of the Batsuit lines up with the Batmobile, and this is clearly reflected in Kravitz's costume. She also said the following in regards to Pattinson's portrayal and her reading material. "Oh, it was amazing. He's Batman when he's wearing the costume, he's Batman. It's interesting, you really don't get used to seeing Batman walk past you. We've all grown up with this character, so it's like a pinch me moment all the time. He's wonderful, he's really wonderful. I've been reading the Year One comic, it's wonderful, it's great, it's like super badass, it's badass." So yeah, it sounds wonderful, it sounds great, it sounds super badass. Now, Catwoman of course played a big part in year 1, and it does seem like they're sort of leaning towards that characterization, as even the short-haired Selina is similar to how she currently looks at the moment. So I do think it's safe to say that they will be heading in that direction, and it's not something that we've really seen on film before. Sure, we've had facets of it, but it seems like they're really leaning into it. And finally is the rumour that Rocksteady's next DC game will be a Suicide Squad title. On Reset Era, fans noticed that the Arkham series developer had registered the following domains: Suicide Squad KillTheJusticeLeague.com, SuicideSquadGame.com, and GothamKnightsGame.com. This brings a lot with it, and according to Hypebeast.com, WB Montreal are working on the Gotham Knights game, whilst Rocksteady handle the Suicide Squad one. The squad were teased at the end of Arkham Origins, and if one of those domains is an indicator of what could be happening in the game, it seems like you may be fighting the Justice League. You might even be killing the Justice League. You might be a character called WB, and you might have to kill Joss Whedon's version of the Justice League. You having that? Now, I think this would provide some absolutely incredible boss fights, and I really hope that's the direction they take. Gotham Knights is meant to centre around the Court of Owls, which is slowly being teased by WB, and it would make an incredible foe for the city. Anyway, I'm so excited to see what the reveals are at DC Fandome. It sounds like it's just going to be an incredible day. Now, that's all of the updates out the way, and I'm surprised I managed to fit them all into one video and do such a bloody good job of breaking them all down as well. Am I right? Now obviously I'd love to hear your thoughts on the news, so make sure you comment below and let me know, and if you enjoyed this video then please drop a thumbs up, and make sure you check out our breakdown of the Keaton story and some fake plot leaks that we need to clear up, which is going to be linked at the end. If you want to support the channel from as little as 99 cents a month, then please click the join button below. We massively appreciate it, and as a thank you, you get access to content early. If you want to come chat to us after the show, either follow us at Heavy Spoilers or click the Discord link in the description below. Every month we give away free movies to people who are subscribed to the channel, and this month you can win the MCU Infinity Saga box set, and all you have to do is comment on a video and make sure you subscribe with notifications on. The more videos you comment on, the more you have a chance of winning, so make sure you get involved. The winner is going to be chosen at random on the 15th of July, and the set will be shipped out from then to whoever gets the prize, so best of luck to everyone who takes part. Cheers.